Ark Survival Ascended is a game about, you guessed it, survival. The only issue is I struggle with basic survival skills in real life, like eating, drinking, and exercising. So chucking me into a world filled with prehistoric dinosaurs and danger around every corner isn't the greatest idea. But screw it, I'm doing it anyway. First, I need to make a character. His name is John, and whether you like it or not, this is the peak male athletic form. With the creation of the optimal character, I spawned in the easiest zone and was greeted by this baddie. After that, I blacked out and woke up on a beach with nothing but my underwear and an implant in my arm. Why do they always do me this way? Anyways, I looked around, spotted a Triceratops, tried to punch the dodo next to it, accidentally hit the Triceratops and died 20 seconds into gameplay. I told you this was gonna be a struggle. Anyways, take two. This time I spawned in and met up with my friend who's gonna be my ally throughout this journey. As you can tell, he doesn't have the peak athletic form, but it'll work. He also had a much better start than me and had already tamed a dino. Back to business, I started harvesting bushes, breaking trees, and grabbing stone in order to craft my first tool, a pickaxe. I used this to harvest stone and flint, which would be used for crafting later in the game. Then my friend showed me this tamed baryonyx in the water, and I decided to punch it and I died for the second time. Hopefully this doesn't become a trend, right? Alright, third time's the charm. I spawned in and started collecting materials again. Then my friend and I saw these massive trees and began deforesting on a large scale because we loved the falling animation. I also ran into this little guy. He didn't make it. After this, both our brains went ooga booga and we started shooting each other with arrows. Don't ask why. Now's probably a good time to explain levels. As you play the game, you'll unlock points which you can put into stats like health, melee, or stamina that can make your character more suited for survival. Now that that's out of the way, Deadman decided to shoot the baryonyx, which chased him down the beach, and he eventually died. Not having learned from this, I shot the thing too, ended up in this situation, and when I tried to run away, I also died for the third time this video.
Hey Darman fam, I hope you love that message.
This time when I spawned in, I took my rage out on a defenseless animal called a dodo. I tamed him up and named him Doo-Doo. And no, I am not a 5-year-old. Now that you've seen our incompetence, you're probably wondering what our goal is. And that is to tame the king of the dinosaurs, the Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I began killing things to gather the necessary supplies to create a foundation for my narcotics production. Anyways, these narcotics are useful because they can help to knock out larger dinosaurs. Then we went back to caveman brain. We kill bird, we play with bird. Back to business, we crafted a raft and decided our main base would be on the water. So we loaded up our creatures and set sail.
That's got to be the best pirate I've ever seen. So it would seem.
We quickly landed on shore and I found this level 20 pterodon that I wanted to tame. I quickly immobilized it and shot it a few times in the head to knock it out. Not long after, I found this level 50, which I liked way more, and I promoted him to my main PT.
You have been promoted. You are now one of my elite employees.
Unfortunately, the worst PT didn't make it. After this, I met back up with Deadman, who had expanded our raft, and we set sail again. I also crafted better hide armor, and John's looking thick. While on the water, I also spotted this suspicious head sticking out of the water. Don't ask what it is. And then Deadman died shortly after doing this. Then we met back up on shore, where we killed a single Triceratops mother of 2 and took her children. I think I'll name this one Pokey. Look how cute he is. At this point, I'm skipping over a lot because we literally just waited for Pokey and his brother to grow up. This is because we needed them to gather the necessary supplies to create narcotics so we could tame our first megalodons to protect our ship. It also doesn't matter that this game's the updated version. Annoying crap like this still happens all the time. Speaking of annoying, this stupid bird stole all my narcotics and I have to restart the process over again. So see you again in 45 minutes. After that, we saw a megalodon stuck on shore, so we quickly ran over and began to trank it with the arrows we crafted. We finally had the first protector for our raft. After this, we began crafting and gathering the necessary supplies to craft our new friend a saddle. But as we were doing this, disaster struck. Another player attacked Deadman, so I quickly joined him in the skies. We were able to force the guy to the ground, and that's where the battle took place. After futile crossbow shots, he managed to kill Flappy Bird. Our weapons weren't strong enough. Deadman was actually able to bolo him to keep him in place, but we weren't able to knock him out quick enough, so he eventually broke free and killed us. I told y'all I would suck at this game. When we spawned back in, me and Deadman quickly suited back up. We knew we'd need to be stronger for the next fight. But until that time comes, we're back to Megalodon taming. After he was knocked out, I proceeded to put my raw meat in.
What?
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
While he was taming up, we decided to explore and we found this massive settlement with a variety of creatures, one of which was a unicorn, which we decided to tame. Back at the raft, we were running out of space, so we made the executive decision to get rid of Pokey and his brother. And we looked back as they watched us sail off into the sunset. On a positive note, I was able to make a saddle for our first Megalodon, and I tamed an Ichthyosaur, which I named Free Willy, and he would be faster than any other water creature. I also knocked out the last Megalodon we're going to talk about in this video, and I named him Juan. Finally, we're back to business. We gathered a bunch of supplies, which we used to make a fabricator. This can be used to make new weapons, tools, and even upgrade our bow. Then we gathered some oil, which would be cooked up to create gasoline and would fuel our fabricator.
Knock, knock, motherfucker. It's the United States of America, and I hear you guys got oil that isn't under my possession. So turn off the stove and return the oil to me before I have to resort to bringing democracy.
While that was cooking up, I decided to do some exploring in the swamp, and originally wanted to tame up one of these Derposaurs, but then I saw something more interesting. A giant prehistoric crocodile called a Dianosuchus was just lying there. After some very close calls and almost getting bitten multiple times, he finally got in position for me to tame. I quickly ran up and fed him the food by hand, almost dying in the process, but he tamed right up and it was worth it. Also, his name is Snappy. I brought him back to base and decided I wanted to get a saddle for him as soon as possible. To do this, I began flying around and gathering explorer notes, which would give me the necessary levels to craft the saddle. After some of those, I tried breeding Megalodons to get the rest of the levels, and I found out Juan was a girl. But I guess that doesn't matter, it's 2024 anyways. Once again, that wasn't enough, so I decided to go to the bottom of the ocean and get the rest of the oil we needed to craft a better boat. Wait, no, the US is back. Despite being colonized, we still got all the supplies and were able to make our metal motorboat. And with that, I was able to unlock Snappy's saddle, so I rushed back to the raft and crafted it. With that, me and Snappy suited up and we went on this killing montage. Let me tell you about my croc friend. He'll defend me to the end, won't play pretend. Through the ordeal, Snappy keeps it real. Croc friend. Through the archweed, Snappy moves with ease, with his teeth that clean. He's the guardian of my arc dream. Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you about my croc friend. He'll defend me to the end, won't play pretend. Through the ordeal, Snappy keeps it real. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's my croc friend. And with that, I returned to where it started and murdered the two PTs of the guy who killed Flappy Bird in the beginning of the video. I finally got my revenge. With that, all that was left was to complete my goal of taming a T-Rex. The first one I found I killed was Snappy, but after a little bit of looking, I found another that had a child. So I walked over and promptly eliminated the adult. And after that, I thought it was only fitting to adopt the child as my very own. And because of this, I thought it was reasonable to name it after my best friend, Snappy. Forget about Deadman.